Good morning. I think I see one new person with us. And welcome. And we'll have you to introduce yourself. I'm Laura McClady, one of the facilitators for the Sarah Stevenson 2-4, along with Jackie Edwards Walton, J.E.W., and Saritha Cheryl. Winston Robinson will be coming in. We have Natalie McElrath, Steve Johnson, and also Carlene Ivory Canty, who are the facilitators for the 2-4. Welcome for the ones that are here with us that are viewing us through the live streaming as well as Facebook Live. We'd like to start off with a prayer, and we'd like to ask Rita if she would lead us in a word of prayer.
Good morning. Bow your heads and let's pray together. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for so much. We're thankful for seeing another year, 2023, and 5 months in, and the end of that month. We're so thankful for celebrating Martin Luther King's 95th birthday and absentia this year. We're thankful for a continuous forum to transmit information to our community and to our friends. We're thankful for the love among our camaraderie and the camaraderie that we exhibit among ourselves and our team members. Bless us today. Dear Father, remember the children everywhere, every day, all the time. Bless our nation, bless our state, our city, our neighborhoods, and our homes. In your Son Jesus' name we all pray. Let's say together, amen.
I see one of our new visitors. Hi, Terry Creech. And would you please introduce yourself? Have you been here before? Okay.
Good morning, my name is Janet Smith. I'm not sure what else you want to know about me. I've been in, this is my third time coming back to live in the Charlotte community. So, and I'm happy that this forum is still going.
Glad we're pretty happy to have you here. What I like to do is share with you and for our guest speakers today is that what we do here at 2-4 is that we allow our presenters to present, and once they present, we have a question and answer session that's facilitated by one of the facilitators, which would be me this morning. And if we need assistance or have assistance, we will get it from someone that is out here. And just for our guests who are here for the first time, I just want to share with you that we do have people that will come in respectfully and leave respectfully. And we do not debate. And I'd like to ask you to please silence your phones, because once they start presenting, we'd like them to go ahead with their presentation. Tommie Robiinson is supposed to be here this morning, so he might be coming in a little later as one of our artists. And what we have today here is a presentation about a Black Creative Arts Festival that's planned for 2024. And these gentlemen are going to share the information with us about the Arts Festival. We have Ray High, who is the lead person and has worked, he can tell you a little bit about his background. We have Terry Creech, who is with the Green Ink Poetry and the Spoken Word, and both of them will talk about what they will bring to the table with a Black art, a creative arts festival here in Charlotte. So we ask that you allow us to do the questioning. Yay, Tommie, no, you're sitting up here, Tommie. You're sit up here this morning. Tommie's one of our regulars, for those who don't know. But anyway, we would ask you to allow us to facilitate the question and answer session once they present. So we're going to allow them to present as the lead person. Ray Hyde has been working in the industry for a while. And I can say Mr. Creech has been working in the community for a while as well. And he was able to, my grandson worked with him for years, and I didn't even know they were at Spirit Square doing the spoken word. And he took him to San Francisco and to Texas in contests that I was unaware of. And just that's how I got to know him. But he's part of the arts community, and Tommie Robiinson. And we had invited Stacy Rose, who was a playwright, and she's done a lot of work across, according to Steve, across the United States, maybe nationally, internationally. She's done some works in her playwright, so she was going to try to get one of her assistants or administrative people to come this morning to share information about what she would bring to the table for the Black Arts Festival. So without any further ado, I'm going to start off with Ray High, who's going to talk about the inception and the idea of bringing this Black Festival, Creative Arts Festival, to Charlotte. And Mr. Creech is going to share with you all some background about what he has done. And then, of course, everybody knows Tommie, and Tommie can give you all history on what it's taken for this community to embrace the Black artists here in Charlotte. We know that Charlotte is an arts city, Mecklenburg is an arts county, and we want to make sure that we are engaged in whatever they are doing in the future and not left out. So without any further ado, the mic, and you have to hold the mic up to your mouth. Once you turn it on.
Yeah. Again, my name is Ray High. I got in this business years ago. I did a local TV show. It went pretty well. From there, I wrote a screenplay that did well in Sundance. It's still waiting for a producer, but I'm ranking in the top 5, not in the United States film. Also, I've written a local play. The play is actually about baseball, but part fiction, part true. You never tell the difference. The thing is that I came up with the idea for this festival because when I've gone to the festival in Winston-Salem, Arts Festival there, the Black Theater Festival. The thing was, this past year, I think because, and I'll just say it like this, because of the Trump syndrome overlap in Winston-Salem. When we used to restaurants being open there and other facilities, they were not. A handful of work. I'm here to tell you what really went on. The festival ended Saturday. Sunday, every bar, every restaurant in that city opened up. Okay, just to let you know how we were treated. We didn't come there begging for anything. We came there to have a festival and have a good time. They let you know, well, the sooner you get out of my town, the better it will be. Okay, good. So one of the people who was on the board there was still on current, and I got to talk. Why don't we try it here? I said, Charlotte has hosted every major event in the city outside of holding the Super Bowl. So I felt as though Charlotte could do the festival and do it right, along with the right group of people. Now, with that being said, we started, putting together how we would do it. I didn't want it to be this one-day fly-by-night festival. Just wanted this to start out this year in 24 to be a 3-day festival. The first day of the festival consists of plays, artwork, short films, and African drum, African dance. There'll be speakers. There'll be people who will just do workshops as well. We'll have writers who do workshops, directors who will do workshops. Everything that encompasses the art world will be a part of this festival, believe it or not. And one of the reasons why there's so many things going on with the festival is because pretty much everything that goes on in this world, we have a fingerprint on. It's just the facts. So I'm not doing this to shove it in anybody's face and just saying it's time to recognize certain things. If you're going to utilize it, you need to recognize it. That's just how I feel about it. So that's part of what goes on the first 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Saturday, there'll be concerts, start to finish from 12 o'clock and down to 10 o'clock that night. It'll start out with things for the youth, but as the day goes on, there'll be artists that we all also love. With that being said, also, I'm trying to work some out with CMS budget so that the band will actually work with CMS. But trying to implement a program, I don't know how familiar you all are with esports. Esports is bigger than the NFL, the NBA, and pro baseball all put together. It's that big. It's a worldwide global sports. When people think of esports, they think about it in terms of just them playing games. No, they're training engineers. They're training people for major technology with esports, things you wouldn't believe. They got programs that guarantee that their students have come up with a new form of money, electronic, and they want to unveil it. It's something that we have never seen because we're heading that way. With that being said, there will be other things about this festival that you'll be able to enjoy and, just things you haven't seen. And right now I'm working with a grant writer to facilitate certain funds. The reason why is because I like things to be fair. The grant thing is to help pay for the festival so that vendors I want their slots to be paid for. Reason why, a lot of times what happens is that a lot of single moms bring their kids out and they can only look. I think it's unfair for them to come and not be able to, they want to go home with a piece of it. So the vendors have to be fair as well. You can't come in here and raise prices on citizens. Everything has to be fair. That's how the festival started out, being fair. With that also being said, before the festival starts, there will be a fundraiser. There'll be a golf tournament being put together. I'm talking with a gentleman by the name of Anthony Shipman. I don't know how well you know him, but his company is a Shipman Group. They're a multi-million-dollar company, black-owned, very successful. He's agreed to help put together this tournament. He also was in line to be on the PGA tournament. He didn't make the cut, but 2 times he came close. So he puts together these type of tournaments. There'll be a fundraiser to bring the hoops who in to play this tournament Sunday prior to the festival starting. Also, one of the first people that came about was Tommie Robiinson, because I know his work, I've seen his work, and he has extensive knowledge of it. Since I've known people talk about it, but he's very casual in his conversation, which is good. That way I can understand it. So again, that's how it all came about. It came about because I was displaced where we were in another city, and I felt like Charlotte could do it better. I'm not trying to compete with them to say I'm not trying to shut theirs down. I'm just trying to let people see how well it can be done when there's a solution. And I think we can do that. So that's where I'm at with this. As time goes on, you'll be able to, I'll leave my email address with everybody so that you can always, chime in and say, how's it going? Where we at? So at least I can update you on what's going on and where we're going with it. We've already talked to different people who are agreeing to come in and be a part of it. Go with things. So anyway, that's
Okay, great. Yes. Here.
Morning. I have tons of energy and a big voice, so I hope y'all don't mind if I don't use the microphone. If you needed me to use it, just tell me. That's fine. So my name is Terry Creech. I'm the executive director for Breathe Inc. We are a youth poetry organization. We work mostly with preteens and teenagers all the way up to 19 years old, as far as creating a safe space for them to be able to express themselves, create an artistic community amongst themselves, utilizing poetry, spoken word, and creative writing. So we go into schools, we do workshops, we go into community centers, we do workshops. We work with other organizations and collaborate to host performance events like open mics, poetry slams, and then we actually we have a summer internship program where we get youth to actually work with for other professional writers, professional poets. The new city poet laureate, Jake Ward, actually is one of our board members. He's one of our original creators. So they get to actually work with the city poet laureate. They get to work with the state poet laureate. They get to travel all over North Carolina, meeting all other young artists like themselves. And then at the end of the summer, we actually take them to Brave New Voices, which is the International Youth Poetry Festival, which is what we took our grandson to a couple of times. They have it in different cities all over the country once a year, and they get to meet up to 500 youth from all over the world, same age, utilizing poetry as a means of self-expression, and they get to share their stories with each other. They get to celebrate creativity and positivity in writing in a new place that actually every single place we went, none of them have ever been there before. So we get to expose them to new areas of the country, other different opinions, and they get a chance to, again, express themselves and work with other people as well. So we've had I guess I'll sell myself a little bit here. I am the only poet from North Carolina, and only one or two Native Americans to ever perform on HBO's That Poetry. I don't know if you ever remember that show that was on HBO. I've also, has anyone in here ever heard of Slam Charlotte, the adult poetry slam? All right, I created Slam Charlotte. I'm the founder of that. I was slamming all over the world, and I was like, we got too much talent here in Charlotte. I wanted to come back here and make sure that our talent here got seen. So I started that working with Blumenthal back in 2003. And then in 2013, they came to me and they said, well, hey, we need a youth arm of this organization. So then I started up Breathe Inc. And then now we're actually our own fully functioning nonprofit. So over the last, almost over a 2-month period from February 22nd to April 26th, we were able to do a ton of workshops in schools. We worked with 18 different schools over that 60-day period, doing 55 workshops, working with over 1,600 students. Over that time period, the amount of work that we were able to do as far as positive creativity was incredible. 77% of the students said that we introduced poetry to them in a new and a positive way. 82% of the students said that they actually had a positive view, or they increased their view of poetry once they came out of our workshops. And 86% of the students said that we increased their confidence in writing as a result of coming out of our workshops. So we're very proud with the work that we're doing. In fact, we're actually working right now with Wilson STEM Academy to implement a fully functioning spoken word elective curriculum that will be utilized during the spring of next school year. And we're also going to be implementing a poetry slam league where each school has their own poetry slam team, and it's just like any other sport except of a ball, they use words. And they're going to be, battling against each other, utilizing their words for city championships. We have a lot of different programs that we're having to mix as well, increasing all the ones that we're currently working on. And we're just so excited we're going to be able to work and share our love of poetry and create these spaces for these young people to be able to express themselves. The big thing right now is, again, we're going to this International Poetry Festival. We're excited to be a part of this theater festival. A lot of the students that we work with come from underserved areas. We do a lot of work in high schools like West Charlotte, Julius Chambers, Garinger, Harding, and West Meck. And again, Wilson STEM Academy is over in that area off Tuckasegee as well. So a lot of students over there, they need programs like this, and we're glad to be able to provide it. So again, right now we have 6 youth that we're trying to get to San Francisco, and we are in a donation cycle right now as well. So if any of you are interested in more information about what we're doing and how you may be able to support us, then you can obviously speak to me at any point. And definitely want to thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to work with the festival. Really appreciate it.
I have to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My name is Tommie Robiinson. I've been an artist in this community for 52 years, and I've seen a lot. In fact, this is not the first Black Art Festival. African American Culture Center did one back in the 70s, I think. And he still Marshall Park. Well, but a long story short, what I found in my 52 years is that looking at the general society, art is an intellectual pursuit. And we are not considered as intellectuals. That's why we're looked down upon as artists. That's why we don't show. I'm having a show at the Mint Museum in February. And I'm the second, I think, Black artist to show at the Mint. It's not what we think it is. What I want us to do, as people, I had prints made so people who can't afford my paintings can get my prints. But Black artists gotta do Black people gotta do like other people in the arts. They gotta support their artists. Andrew White didn't care if I bought a painting from him or not, because he had support of the general society, support of Europeans, supporting, they have Native American art. They don't care if I'm selling art or not. They sell art to Native America. And so as Black people, we gotta get where we understand it. And if you can't afford it, Black artists got to get where they can come up with some kind of method of getting the artwork to the people. My friend Jackie Sochi has a tremendous art collection. She bought art over the years. She sacrificed to buy art. She has one of the greatest art collections. In fact, we're trying to get together and carry her collection to institutions and stuff. But we got to stop fooling ourselves. We just gotta stop fooling ourselves, pretending that it's not valid. Thomas Moore, we worked together at Center Female in the 70s. And we went to different institutions teaching art. He was a pianist, singer. I was a visual artist. But we just gotta become realistic about the art in America. America is a diverse country. It's not a country of Anglo-Saxon, but they get support for their art. And we don't. We don't support our artists.
Okay. Take questions now. Okay, first of all, I thank all of you for being here and sharing. And we can take questions now, if you all have any questions. But I like to start with the questions since I haven't seen. Do I see any names? Oh, okay. Sure.
First of all, we dance in any way, and also any of our other music.
Well, right now I'm working with Convention Center. Yeah, to answer your question, right, we do want to work against them, but right now, I'm in talks with people at the Convention Center, the Charlotte Regional Authority, Visitors Authority, and they're interested and excited about this. So they're going to take the lead in helping us find the facilities for different events. And they're also help coordinating things with local officials. So we're going to need to utilize as many spaces as we can. Because again, it's the festival is bigger than what I'm telling you. And it's for a reason.
Good morning. My question is, what does support look like for each of your mediums of art from a systemic level? What do you want? What are you looking for? What would be ideal to make you feel supported from municipalities, our corporate communities, nonprofit? What does systemic support look like to you for each of your mediums?
Inclusion and support.
Money support.
Yeah, need money. That's why I'm not just solely dependent on certain donations, but grant work as well, because Mecklenburg County has money to give for this. The Charlotte Regional Visitor Parties, they have money to give for this. There are different groups, they do have the money. There's nothing wrong with asking. We're going to ask. So, yeah, we're going to need the money.
I'll use this. Well, for us, it's on several levels. First off, obviously financially with funding, we do go after grants very often. We are actually at a 76% success rate with our grant cycles. So we're excited about that. But we also, from the community, especially if you're looking at corporations, we often look for sponsorships or donations, whether they be corporate sponsorships and donations or individuals. The other thing is we also are looking for opportunities to collaborate with other organizations. We all often find the best way that we can get more opportunities for our youth is to be able to collaborate with organizations that have a similar interest. So we collaborate with organizations like We Rock Charlotte or with Goodyear Arts. We currently are at the Charlotte Art League with our offices right now and working on some collaborations with them. And the biggest thing is just having people come out and witness what these young people are doing and the power of their voices. So all of our events are free. All the things we do for our youth are free as far as like their participation. We obviously are charging people to, be able to bring our programs in. But as far as the youth, we never want money to be an issue of why a young person can't participate in what we do. So in order to be able to do that, we need extra funding from the community, from grants, and from individual sponsors and corporate sponsors and donations.
As I said, I would like to see more participation of Black community. Everything we do, we have to go to someone else, the big. And I'm sick of it. I'll just be honest with you. I'm sick of it because when you go to other organizations that go to other people big, then you're susceptible to do what they want you to do. So I would like to get more religious institutions involved. One of the strongest institutions in the Black community is the Black church. So why is the Black church not involved in our? Well, when we build a church, we go and get the stained glass windows from a white person, from another person outside of our race, and we have Black people who can design stained glass windows. I've met artists all over the world, and we got artists who can design stained glass windows. But until we start, like me, I get 70% of my clientele, and it shouldn't be. I'm glad I eat, being my family, all houses and stuff like that. But still, I would like to see more support come from the Black community, Black artists, and Black art. Period. I mean, artists produced by Black people don't necessarily have to be Black art. I paint white people. It's basically the same. But they come and want me to paint a portrait of them. I do it, I was extremely pleased because Javier White, Javier can have a portrait painted by anybody in the United States. He has the money. But his wife insisted he wanted to paint a portrait. They come to Tommie Robiinson, give me to do it. And I was very glad to do it. But we just have to be more conscious. We are some of the most creative people in the world. Creative jazz, art, but the artists, our community suffer from that. We suffer because we got people who can afford the art, and they'll go somewhere else and get the art. Just not America. It's not America, Andrew White never came to a Black community and asked them to buy a picture of him. White artists never come to the Black community. I remember when I first started in the arts 52 years ago, I would be at my own show, my own open, and they would come in and ask, "Where's Mr. Robinson?" They said that to me. But they couldn't conceive of Black artists showing in a white gown And, they just couldn't conceive that. And I forgave them for it. Now I'm talking Robinson. Oh, you did that, you know, so I just think we have to be more conscious in our thinking pattern, you know. My child want to see artwork done by black artists. Want to see artwork, fashion done by black design. Yeah, you know, and I'm not being racist. As I said, 70% of my clientele is white. But you know, I love to see more black people. That's why I had prints made, because I know people could pay $20,000, $30,000 for a painting. So I had prints made where they could pay $35 for one, $40 for one. Do you have a problem selling? You know?
As the owner of a print, everybody needs to have at least one. I love my picture, and I look at it every day. I've been doing the tribute to Tommie, but the prints are, I mean, when you tell me you have a problem, I'm just so shocked when you said that you have a problem selling those prints. I find that so hard to believe. Anyway, my question really is about the, are they still going to have the one in Winston-Salem?
Yeah, they'll have it again.
Have you reached out to them and tell them that they should just move it on?
What the player, it'll go once a second.
Pardon me?
Yes, one of the writings, it'll still go to Winston-Salem for Winston-Salem Theater Festival. I never said that I was going to participate. I just didn't like the way ran the city to bid, which opened. Oh, you don't hear me?
So yeah, we got streaming audience.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the play I did write, along with Marsh Floyd, it will go to Winston-Salem. It'll be a part of that festival, but it'll also be in this festival as well. They're going to kind of like run back to back always. So, no, this is not to compete with Winston-Salem. It's not to hurt Winston-Salem. It's to, you know, make it more aware to people that there's more than Winston-Salem going on. And again, like I said, I've watched how this city, they've done tournaments and festivals. Do a great job. And when you look at what's going on today with different festivals, it's not a black festival in Charlotte. We got the Greek Festival, we got the Latin Festival, we got the German Festival. There were several. But, you know, we look on the calendar and say, which one is this? Which month? So that's the reason we're bringing it here. Again, it's not to try and hurt Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, you know.
Well, but they don't want you there. You can't. Winston-Salem is fine. I just want to know if you reached out to the organizers of that festival. And
yeah.
said, why be here if they don't want you here?
Well, the thing about it, you know, right now, you have to understand what happened this last time in Winston-Salem was that they were still dealing with the Trump effect. And he had too many folks, business-wise, who believed the rhetoric. This is just my opinion, what I saw and what I experienced. So with that being said, it's a cooling off period because people are starting to see the foolishness. And a lot of folks want to go back to the way things were, meaning like they understand. See, they saw what they lost opposed to what they were getting. The last one this past year, right after COVID ends, and then, then plus people became, but, there were complaints about, wasn't that many places to eat. Wasn't as many places open. So, it didn't hurt the artists. It didn't hurt the artists. It hurt the business community. As you remember, a lot of people remember when CIAA first came to Charlotte. Remember how many businesses we opened uptown? So word got around how much money we were spending. The next time around, they moved heaven and earth to get us in to do everything they could because they saw they're bringing real money. And sometimes it looks like a bad thing when they be that way, but it is what it is. So, no, this is not for Mr. Seven. This is for Mr. Seven saying we need to do a better job.
So I actually have two questions. They're not super long. But my first question is, have you solidified like a date for when you expect to have this festival, or do you have like a roundabout time that you're hoping to have it?
Well, we're first looking at the middle part of October. But if that date's if we can't secure that date, and a lot of it has to do with certain artists too, because this is in 24. So it gives us a little time to figure out which date it's going to work for. So it could be the late part of September or the late part of October.
And then my next question is, where are you thinking about having it?
Right now, it's going to take place from my talks with convention center, since they handle a lot of these events. Mainly like most festivals, it'll take place sometime, and it'll utilize venues uptown. I didn't know this, but they said we negotiate rates for the hotels for you. We coordinate the police department, fire department, we coordinate all this. FBI, Homeland said we do that. I didn't know that they were that helpful. They step in, and as I was told by the people, we don't want this to be a one-time thing. If you do it this year, it's 24, we need to go this 4 years or better. We don't need you to come in and go back out. So they're being as helpful as they can to make sure it's successful. Again, they can negotiate venues for it. But you have to tell them which ones you need to bring in, along with county facilities. So I guess I'm trying to emulate what Scotland did, meaning that they utilize small uptown, which if you got there, you could walk with it. And that was the purpose of being uptown, way out or scattered out. You better go in to 7 and know that it's very scattered out. You have to drive way out by the college or the schools or wherever. And they do tour us, I'm showing us to get you there. That's great. But sometimes I just want to walk up the street and go to.
I would like to see us have something of our own. I remember when we started the West Fest. The West Fest was on Ladies Board Room. Either it was at Johnson C. Smith. And the greatest mistake she made, moved the West Fest downtown. It lasted 1 year, about 2 years, and then there was no more West Fest. So what I'm saying is, cannot we do something for ourselves without trying to appease everybody? You know, like the West Fest was very successful. When it was on Ladies Board Road, when it was at the shopping center on Ladies Board Road, and then moved to John C. Smith. And then Louis Sellers came up with the idea that we should have the West Fest downtown. And the West Fest lasted downtown 1 or 2. You know, so that's just my opinion.
My question is piggybacking on this young lady. Also want to make a comment. Do you have a beat festival, or we have a festival?
Right, it'll start on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But the golf tournament is scheduled Sunday.
And my comment I wanted to make is that this might be the answer to what you wish for. People become educated about the Black artists, because most people, they not buy from you because they don't know. Not that they don't want to, but they may not know. I didn't know. I'm always out in the community. I'm always looking for different things that I didn't know we were artists. And as far as being uptown, at the time you're talking about, uptown was not uptown. Uptown Charlotte now. It's a whole lot different than when the Sellers had that festival. I think it would be a good idea to maybe host things out at Johnson C. Smith, Ladies Board Road. I do think that uptown in the uptown that you would be down, would be a really desirable place, because you said this community of everyone, you have everyone living uptown.
Answer it, you know, base for the road. But where you gonna park? And that's where they did one time with it in West Charlotte, but again, where you gonna park? You can't park on the street, so it's really tough. I wanted it on base for the road, but no facility could hold it. So, I agree with Tom, but I have to look at the bigger picture there. We don't have any real way to do much. Now, Johnson's expensive is an alternative, but some events. But as far as the festival itself, when you really start to see how it unfolds, there's no way you can do it on this. I would like to. I would like people to come to that, but it's not going to be possible. So, you know, your tax dollars are going to downtown as well, so you're part of that. So we're going to utilize what's ours.
Good morning. Okay. For the festival. So are you collaborating with, because it is other Black festivals here, maybe not as massive, I guess, as you plan on having, but are you going to collaborate with other, like maybe Trey with the Cindy Odyssey film festival, or Fall Fresh, Trevor Grip, but and have you reached out maybe to like House of Prayer and Friendship, even just for one day? Because like the House of Prayer, they have a congregation. People come from all over the United States, so they can handle a pretty big crowd. Friendship, even maybe one or two events just to kind of get people over to that corner.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. I mean, I don't have a problem reaching out going for the cruise, but understand that's for church.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as the facility, and you have to understand that churches, I would say churches make enough money, but you can't donate facilities and then you have the convention center. This is part of you. So if they feel like they need a piece of financial action, no. You get enough. This, I mean, you can give some.
I'm not opposed to investment downtown. Let me straighten that out, because in all festivals, you know, every festival, every shout I was in it. But I'm saying, will we ever get to the point where we don't have to go to somebody else to get what we need done? Will we ever get to that point? You know, and I'm saying, like, if we're having a Black festival, to me, you know, downtown is that place to have. I mean, I don't care, you know, I'm from it, you know, but, you know, why we don't have a Black festival on the Black side of town? You know, like, why can't they venture to that side of town instead of us going to the square, instead of us going to my house park, instead of us going to Copper 8? Why can't they venture to Batesville Road? You know what I'm saying? That's where John Steve lived in 1868 or something, right after slavery. You know, good institution. Why can't we have a festival on our side? Why we can't have a festival somewhere where everybody can come? You know, I've never seen anybody abused on the west side and the west ends. You know, so you know, that's just my time for us to talk about ourselves.
I'd like to speak to that really quick. Don't mind, I'm sorry. I think it's also important to note as far as doing a festival in Uptown. Outside of festivals held by Blumenthal or held by comic book conventions uptown. So there's very few opportunities for especially local artists to be able to perform in the uptown area, especially at a festival like that where you're actually bringing people in to be able to witness what's going on locally. A lot of our festivals that we have are happening in little tiny pockets all around the city. So only the people that are right there or that are directly affected by them are the ones that even know about it. So being able to have something like this, especially being able to highlight Black voices in a powerful way in the uptown area where all transportation goes, where all the businesses tend to be able to stop cycle towards. I think it's an amazing opportunity for a lot of people to be able to, again, see and hear and witness the power of the Black voices in the music.
That's not true.
We don't debate. We don't want that to happen at this point. Because what we're trying to do is to share the information with those that are here and our listening audience about the festival that has already been planned. The location, place there. We don't want to fake it. And just like that to yield to Jackie at this time. And that ask her question.
Thank you, y'all, and good morning. I don't necessarily have a question, but a comment. I am just so excited about what you guys are doing. With bringing the National Black Arts Festival to Charlotte. Found a flyer, a mailing, National Black Arts Festival in 1990 and traveled to Atlanta for this. And it was just huge. It was, and this list of the sponsors, grants, different venues and visual arts, literature, theater, folk art, film, it goes the whole gamut of the arts. And I think it's just so important for us to have this in a venue where it could reach out to everyone, because I feel like that is inclusion within ourselves and all around us. I remember working at Bell South back here decades ago. I'm retired now, but I remember when I worked in the Southern National Center and I made it, one day I just went to every room in the Southern National Center to see if I could find a piece of art that had a face on it that looked like me. Nothing. So I'm saying that to say it's so important for us to be inclusive of ourselves as well with others. We are gifted and talented, and in my opinion, we want everybody. I would like to see everybody to know what we are all about. I am so proud of what you guys are doing. And art tells a history. It's a story about ourselves as a Black people. It is. It's a story about ourselves and our culture. And I'm glad to see that you're including young people. I have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and for them to see ourselves in such a positive way. It just, thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. And this is the Black Arts Festival. If y'all want to, probably have whatever. But thank y'all so much.
The question is, why isn't there parking on Bates Ford Road?
We didn't decide the street.
It's a bigger question than who designed it. There have been proposals to do centers on Bates Ford Road that keep failing. Bates Ford Road should have somewhere big enough to accommodate a festival with ample parking. But for some reason, nobody wants to build one. Everybody wants to build it, uptown or South Charlotte, but nobody wants to build on Batesford Road. And I'm talking our elected officials. Somebody should get a project on Batesford Road that would have a facility large enough for you to consider having something on Batesford Road. That's what Tommie is saying. It's not, why go uptown? You go uptown because you don't have an alternative. There should be an alternative on Batesford Road, and that's what we keep saying. Somebody build that corridor so that it isn't always overlooked.
Okay.
Not a question. I'm not asking you to defend it. It's not something you created. It's something that happened.
Anyway, I'm speaking now. That's it? Okay, so. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. And I'm not going to argue that because you're right. But at the same time, I think that you got to start somewhere. If you bring awareness to the importance of it, you stand a chance for the elected officials to go along with it. Fine. Yeah, that's all. Go like this. Can you hear me? Any better?
Yeah.
Switch. Okay. How about now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. But at this point in time, you're a year out in some months. There's no way we can put together a facility to house this at this point. But again, having it uptown isn't starting. When you bring awareness to it, then you see the need for it. Okay, if you don't have this type of volume, creativity for it, people are gonna say, well, why would we go over there? Let them see what you're doing. Once they see it, they see the importance of it. From that point, then they start to purchase property to do this. They see there's a need for it over there. But one thing people don't understand about Batesford Road is this. Batesford Road is the #1 primary thoroughfare in the city, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why it's being, you see now, every community on Batesford Road, it used to be all black. It is not. The importance of that road is this. It can do what no other thoroughfare can do in this county. That's why it's being bought up. You realize that's the only thoroughfare. You can go from Lake Norman to town, downtown. You can branch off, you can go to airport, you can go out to university. That thoroughfare, it runs across every major highway in this county. Yes, you are right. But trying to get elected officials to say, hey, we're going to dedicate this land just for that. I can tell you now, if I know what's going on with that road, I think they have. That's why it's so hard for them to say, yeah, we need to dedicate this land. Once they see the need for it, we'll get it. But right now, they don't see the need. Because nothing's happened. We haven't done anything in this where they feel like, oh yeah, they brought in, 400,000 people. Bring over 400,000 people in Batesford. Again, you got to start somewhere. Let them see what you do. Let them see the need. Then, again, when something needs to be done, we've seen in this town where they'll move together and get it done. And it gets done quickly. So let them see it. And even the people at the convention center explained to me, we'll help you with getting the word out across the country and in other countries. There are artists here who are going to be seen from other places in the United States, other countries. And that's what we want. As he was saying, that we get a platform for these artists. And that's when we give you the platform. Now, you say, well, yeah, we need somebody over here for us. Now you've got a valid point. We can argue that. Right now, we got to start.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to. I'm not opposed to the festival being downtown. But what I'm saying is, like I've been in numerous festivals downtown. I I've been in festivals where the wind came in on 7th Street and blew down tents and stuff because they didn't anticipate a windfall. I've been in festivals where you didn't see black people downtown. But I'm not opposed to the festival being downtown. But I'm saying if it's a black festival, why shouldn't it be on the black side of town? I'm saying why we gotta go down and I can see Louis Sellers now riding a little cart through downtown to the West Fest. The West Fest was a very successful festival for 3 years. And the 4th year, when she went downtown, that's when the West Fest happened. You know, I'm not opposed to having a festival downtown. I've known Ray for years. But I'm saying, why can't we accept who we are? Who made us America's social conscious? You know, that's my question. Who made us America's social conscious? I understand Dr. King going out marching and all this stuff. But who did God come down and say, you're America's social conscious and we have to fight for everything? You know, so what I'm saying is, since we have the West Side, you know, let's have a festival on the West Side. I've been in all the festivals. You know, I was the first person in the Spring Fest. First class.
Okay, I want you to speak to that. Jackie has the next question.
Yes, I agree with what Jackie was saying. And I love the Theater Arts Festival. Used to go every other year with the Association of CDCs. And they did have Winston-Salem State as a venue for some of their events. My question, what's the name of your nonprofits? And this will be an annual festival and not every other, right?
It'll be every year. Right? They can't understand. You know.
The nonprofits.
Okay. Right now, I'm still working on the for-profit and nonprofit, putting together a board of people. But the name of the festival has already been registered with the state. So we're in the process.
What's the name of it?
Right here, it's Charlotte Creative Arts Festival, but we're going to make an amendment where it'll be Charlotte Black Creative Arts Festival. I was asked to take that out, but I think it'd be a good idea to put it back in. And that's one of the amendments that we made to that name. It'll be Charlotte Black Creative Arts Festival instead of Charlotte Creative Arts Festival. And that's for a reason. But the profit and nonprofit, they'll probably have the board members by July in order to be able to either get loans or get grant money. But the festival itself, the grant is already being worked on for that. So first we had to have a business plan, so all that's being done.
Okay, I guess I'm not. When you submit, you mind? When you are requesting grants, the name is going to be Charlotte Black Creative Arts Festival.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right. And I'm working along with one of the primary members of the grant board, Fred Atima. And I didn't know until we got to talking that his signature has to authorize it. And he liked it what he read so much. He agreed. He said, listen, Charlotte needs this. Let us do what we can to help you get this through.
Now, who is this person here?
Fred Atima.
He's with.
He works for Mecklenburg County, and he's head of the grant department for Mecklenburg County.
Chris,
you mentioned October, September. Are you gonna have it a different weekend? You're not gonna have it the same weekend.
No.
Okay. Then what's this?
No. Theirs start August 1st.
Oh.
Every year it's always August 1st they start.
I wanted to have a question. My question is in time. And my question is how he just I guess in 2 or 3 minutes time you can tell this audience how you were able to break through Spring Fest, which was a festival for Mecklenburg County and Charlotte for very few black. You share just
The way I became an artist was, first I had to determine I wanted to be an artist. Then I had to be the best. Just as simple as that, you have to be the best. And so, like, I was accepted in the Spring Fest because they actually couldn't say no. When they saw my slide, they saw my work, they couldn't say no. But I want, that's why I tell young Black artists, is to put all they got into it, because we live in a society, like I said, art is an intellectual pursuit, and we're not considered as intellects. So it's imperative that you do all you can, become the best that you can to be accepted in the general society. People love. I remember when the Mint Museum was on Randolph Road, and they had one Black exhibit that was Romar Beard. I went to the Mint to see the Beard exhibit. I met Beard and his wife, Lynette, you know, and so for us to pretend that things have changed so much is ridiculous, you know, because I'm out there every day. And the reason people come to me is because they want the best for their money. They want the best for their money, so they say, who should I go to? Is it Tommie Robiinson? And so it's not a thing where you have it somewhere, you have a festival somewhere and everybody flock to it, because it's not. You know, like when I was in the Spring Fest, you know, the only Black artist in the Spring Fest the first year.
Wasn't that in the 70s?
That was in the 70s. And I was the only Black artist in the Spring Fest. And, you know, looking back and looking at my slides, I see why they chose me. Because they couldn't choose nobody else. You know, so they had to let me in. But, you know, like I tell Black people all the time, you know, it's good that you feel like you got to be American social conscious, but you're dealing with people that's unsocial. They don't care.
And I think, you know, just a comment about what he said, and I wanted him to share that was because we're talking about the 70s, back in the 70s, right? That happened. And I was on the board, of the Spring Fest board at the time, and we had a heck of a time, you know, breaking through. But I had to get information from Tommie and a couple of the other Black artists in Charlotte to make it happen, you know. But it was not an easy task to do. Just to bring more to the Slam Fest, I'd like for you to talk just a little bit more about the kids at some of the locations where you have the kids have participated, and I had a relative from team that said the families that were there and the kids that won the spoken word, they just cried just to see what came out of their own children's poetry, you know, in doing that Slam Fest. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, so the most recent wonderful opportunity that we had was we were able to open up the Boom Festival for Charlotte. I don't know if anyone were able to go out there, but they held it in Camp North End this year, and we were the opening event for that. So we had 9 youth that participated and shared their poetry standing underneath the water tower. We had over 300 people in attendance that were out there that were watching these young people express themselves. The young people themselves, the winners from that event, actually are our team representing Charlotte at this year's Brave New Voices at the International Festival. And those are the ones that we're trying to get to San Francisco for this event for this summer. Another opportunity like that they really enjoyed, we had a lot of middle school students that were there as well, students from Our Bridge for Kids. And it was a great opportunity whenever our high school kids were performing. Again, like you said, parents, you know, just people in the community were able to, were emotionally, drawn into what these young people were saying and how passionate they were. And then on top of that, these young people, these middle schoolers, at the end of the event were actually like rushing to the stage, and they were like asking for their autographs, asking to take pictures with these high school kids, you know, for just showing their bravery and strength and power in being able to express themselves. So we are fortunate to be able to like now starting to find avenues and opportunities for these young people to express themselves in places they never had before, like Boom Festival, like this Black Creative Arts Festival. And so that, and as well as Breaking Voices, which again, we take them to every year. So we've been fortunate enough to be able to take these students to cities like San Francisco, Houston, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. And again, they're getting not only a chance to be able to meet these other young people, but to also experience those cities and those cultures, and then bring the things that they learned back to Charlotte, and then be able to use them effectively here as well, and as well as their experiences.
Yeah, thank you again. And I'd like to comment on Mr. Ray High, the grant writing and that sort of thing. And just want to share, please have your grant writer to research FFTC, Foundation for the Carolinas, as well, through the racial Mayor Val House announced a $250 million racial equity initiative a couple of years ago. $250 million racial equity initiative that is housed by FFTC, Foundation for the Carolinas. And they is a grant institution and that sort of thing. And also I actually went to a seminar at Johnson C. Smith some months ago, and they announced that they were looking for different artists for different things. But I think this would be, this opportunity that you are bringing to us now with the Charlotte Black Creative Arts Festival, in my opinion, would fall right in line with racial equity. And in that, I'm 74 years old, and I live downtown in the Brooklyn area, but that's where I was born at, and that sort of thing. And if we talk about the Charlotte Black Arts Festival from a historical perspective, that's right where people live, that downtown. That is, and I know this for a fact, because my grandparents lived on Brevard Street. I lived in the alley and all that kind of stuff. House of Prayer, my grandparents went to and all that. But I'm saying that to say the FFTC, Foundation for the Carolina, grant writing, and for us to give ourselves credible richness to where we come from. Historically speaking, that's where Charlotte, I mean, Black people, that's where we lived at. You know, because I tell my grandkids, when I took them downtown and tell them that's where we used to play, they look at me like, Grandma, you crazy, you didn't live down here? Yes, I did. Brevard Street, 2nd Street, 2nd Ward, and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying all that to say this would tie in. I thank God for allowing us the opportunity to reach out and be inclusive to not only ourselves, but to others and share our history. We have a rich history in Charlotte, North Carolina, but we just still getting stumped. We belong down there. Sorry.
Thank you, Jamie. And I did send that information that she just shared, because what we had she said it, so you all can reach out, and for those who need to get that information, perhaps we can send it to CJ.
Laura, I was grant writer for the Women's Missionary Society for the 2nd Episcopal District of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. I understand grant writing because I went to workshops for grant writing in Virginia, Washington, different places like that. So money just sits in these accounts.
I got a grant, thanks to my son, this year or last year, I can't remember. But I got a grant, thanks to my son. I've been in arts for 52 years. This is the first grant I ever got in the arts, you know. And so, like, we can pretend on what to, a lot of stuff is still biased in America. You know, like, it's still biased. We can say it's not, say we worked so well, so we did that. It's still biased in America.
It is, but nothing to say for
Yeah, and
Have you seen any of Tommie's work?
so what?
Everybody has seen Tommie's work, right?
Yes.
Is everyone?
You have never seen his work?
I didn't hear what you said.
Has everybody seen Tommie's work?
Oh, absolutely.
That's right. So, details.
I'm invited, I'm having a shirt and mid museum in February, and so I'm invited all of you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be ready.
Do we have any other questions? Probably like to give them a closing statement. Are there any other questions? Okay. If not, you can give us a closing statement.
Yeah, the only closing statement I have is that I'm 76 years old, and I've been proving myself ever since I was one. I'm tired of proving myself, tired of telling lies, tired of marching, of saying, I'm tired of saying, I'm 76. And everybody here will be invited to my shirt in the museum in February.
What's the date?
Oh, yeah, Saturday, the whole month.
Black History Month. Don't forget that.
Well, the first thing I want to do is just, thank you for inviting me to come in and present about the organization. Thank everyone else for coming out here today to hear about it. We're very passionate with the organization about making sure that we create as many spaces as possible for these young people to learn the things that we didn't get the opportunity to learn when we were in school, and to give them the opportunity to be able to express themselves in positive and creative ways. If you are interested in much more information about our organization, please feel free to look us up. We are Breathe Inc. Is the name of our organization, all one word. That's Breathe with an E, Inc. with a K. And you can go to breatheinc.org, which is our website. We're also on all social media, because again, that's where young people live, so that's where we have to live as well. And you can find videos of our young people performing. You can find pictures all over the place of the positive experiences that they all have. And again, I highly wants to make sure to push you to, come out, see these young people, hear their stories, see the power and the bravery of their young voices. And if you feel moved to, participate and help support them in any way, then we're more than happy to assist you with that process as well. But on behalf of myself and my organization, I just want to thank you for allowing me. No, it's Breathe, BREATHE. Yeah, Breathe. I'm sorry, I got a country accent. So that's the Breathe Inc. BREATHEINK. INK.
Again, I want to thank Laura for inviting me. She's been very helpful in helping me with this project, and she was the right person to ask. I was glad she could turn me down. And I thank you all too for coming, hearing what I had to say.
We're gonna share your email.
Oh, my email address? Yeah, it's High1, HIGHRAY 1, yeah, at gmail.com. It was actually pretty high. Yeah, email address is High1 at gmail.com. HIGHRAY 1, not ONE, just 1 at gmail.com. Right. My real name is very high. So, yeah, I told you, I'm not with it. Yeah, it's flipping backwards. But the logo looks like a highway sign, so it made sense. Thank you all again.
And Winston is going to.
We were also supposed to have another presenter today by the name of Stacy Rose, who is a local playwright here, and she's actually one of the writers on the Angela Bassett show on Fox 911. Yes, she's from Charlotte. Actually has roots on West Boulevard, but she was supposed to be here to talk about some of her playwriting initiatives and workshops she has throughout the city. But yeah, again, her name is Stacey Rose. As you mentioned, everybody lives on social media, so if you have an interest in looking her up, you can go to Instagram. Her IG is therose92. THEROSE92. That's it, Instagram. On Instagram.
Winston was able to reach out to her, and she had planned to be here, but that's the way it is in the world of entertainment. She couldn't come this morning, but she was gonna try to set someone and at least review what we were doing. But Ray anticipated working with her as well, because there will be plays at this particular event.
And let me say one more thing. She actually only happened to be here in Charlotte because of the writer's strike. Again, she works on the show with, I think Angela Bassett got an Emmy for that too, if I'm not mistaken, nominated one. But the show The Man won on Fox, and I thought, we would be lucky enough to have because of her being in Charlotte, but again, she had a conflict. So.
And I said, I've known Stacey for many, many years. She's an amazing writer, outstanding artist. So her being involved in this project as well, that's a bonus for the festival. So absolutely.
We haven't gotten that from her yet, but we wanted to
Hopefully.
get all of you all together to start working on this. Once again, let's give them a round of applause. We appreciate you all being here, and we collaborated, or we had a conversation yesterday for the first time, the three of us, and I conversated with Stacey by way of text. But we like to continue this dialogue, but we're asking you all to support the festival and support our artists, and go to some of these slam fests. Winston, I try to stay connected with Winston because he does reach an audience that you all would need. I mean, you have all ages coming out, and I attribute him to educating me about Camp North End, and that's when they had that Slam Fest. I didn't know the connections was really there. And unfortunately, I didn't know my grandson was doing all of this when he was in high school. He just graduated from college, but when he was in high school, he was going up to Spirit Square doing poetry. And just to listen to these kids express themselves in poetry is just amazing. It's just amazing. But I didn't go to Spirit Square for his poetry readings. But I did go to Texas. I didn't go to San Francisco. I wasn't really, I guess they use language sometimes. And I guess my son didn't want me to go, but after going to Texas to see kids from all over the United States sharing and actually doing just speaking poetry, it was just amazing to me. So I've been interested in it ever since then, but I didn't know that they were here and was doing all of this in Charlotte as well. I just wanted to see Tommie's art and listen to the music and dancing art and then go to the play. So once again, I thank you guys, and I wish you much success, in 2024. And this is what I could do, is just bring Dre to Tuesday for initially, with the plans that they have, and bring the artists together. And I always have someone like Winston that can help me pull the people together when it comes to something like this, and especially our young folks. So once again, thank you, and hopefully you all can do it together. And thank you all.
If you have an announcement before Thomas begins to send us out, if you have an announcement, Ms. Reed, also send it to Steve S. Johnston at TuesdayForumCharlotte.org.
Steve, you already have this one, but the time has come. Next Monday at 11:30 sharp, We will start the flag raising for Juneteenth at Ebenezer Baptist Church. It's at 2020 West Sugar Creek Road. We look forward to seeing everybody in this building there. That way we don't get pink flags, we don't get purple flags, we don't get red, green, and black flags. You will know the color of the flag and what the colors mean, and it was done by somebody who looks like me.
I'd like to announce that on this coming Friday, there will be a jam fest at Faith CME Church from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. for the Hidden Valley area and anyone else who would like to attend.
Any more announcements? Mr. Bishop, do you have enough? All right, Mr. Thomas, lay it down.